Well, yep. We are here and we are live. Let's go. Let's go. Time to make some money for the month of June. It's June the 1st, right? It's June the 1st, and we are ready to go live. Let me let the people know that I'm live. You're on youtube.com/@educator2trader. Letting the world know, let the platforms know that we are live in all the places. Passing the word. Y'all pass the word too. Forward, passing the word to all the places. Yepper. Think I've hit all of those. Let me see, got a comment. Janae, hey, Janae. Hey, girlfriend, I hope you had a good weekend. It's not quite over. We got a few more hours left on the weekend. Shivaniana. Yes, hey. Welcome. Yvette, welcome. Denise, hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Yep. I'm letting the platforms tell the people that we're here. Before we go through our list of things for the week, things that are coming up this week in the market, stuff we're interested to see. We got to see what there is to see to make sure I get everything all set up nice and big and pretty for us so we can see. Did y'all have a good trading week last week? I want to see some profits. Y'all got some profits you want to share with us into the chat? Did y'all make some good money last week? If you made some money, put some dollar signs into the comments, right? Especially if you made some money with me last week, you need to put some dollar signs in the comments. Hey, Yusuf. Hey, Miss Marcia. Put some dollar signs in those comments. If you were trading in the membership, if you in the option seller zone or the E2, you part of the E2T crew, put some dollar signs in the chat. Yes. Put some dollar signs in the chat. Put some dollars in the chat. Put some dollars in the chat. I was looking at my chart here to see which I want to put on this chart. I think I'm gonna take it to a one screen here so I can see what did the week look like. That way when I get ready to share with us, when I get to the chart, I'll have it all set up pretty, have it all prettied up. Yep. I see some dollar signs in the chat. Yes. Any dollar sign that you made that you didn't have before, we count all those. All right. Every little, every big, all of it. We count all of it because it's money we didn't have. Right? We count all of it. Okay. Welcome, Twitter. Welcome, LinkedIn. Welcome, YouTube. Welcome, Facebook. Let's see what we got for this particular Sunday evening, right? So look at the stage. Looking at SPX last week, we had the weekly chart. Y'all see this is a weekly chart here. This is what our week looked like. Last week it was green, but look, we seem to be inside of a consolidation over the past 3 weeks. 1, 2, 3. Right? We had the high here of about 59.55 and the low. This is rough. The low was about 57.87. Then we had a 3, which means we went outside top and bottom. We went up to about 59. The high of this candle, let me see. What is the high of this candle? 59.68. And the low of this candle is 57.67. That was last week. Last week. And then this week we got a 1 candle. That 1 candle basically means, some people always ask me, what are these numbers on my chart? And that those numbers basically means 3 is an outside candle. Basically the top and the bottom, the high and the low are outside of its previous week. And then This week is a one candle, and the one candle is that it's inside of the previous candle. It's not higher than, not lower than, it's in the middle of the previous candle. This is an indecision kind of candle. It's like we wait to see what happens next. But when we're in a one candle, you basically chill out and let it pick a direction. Means the three candle did its movement. The one candle of the week means you just kind of chill out if you're going for longer term. Now we trade every day, so we look at smaller time frames to make our moves. But if you're doing multiple weeks or multiple months, then this would be a week that you would chill out and wait till you get a move. Yeah, definitely. Friday was money that was well earned. You better know that we well earned that money on Friday because we rode that roller coaster. Anybody who was with the E2T crew, we rode the roller coaster on Friday for sure. Now it paid off. The roller coaster ride did pay off. It paid off with some good profits, but we had to ride it. We had to ride it. Okay. So last week was a short week, or this week, was a short week. We only had 4 days this week. We did gap up on Tuesday and we stayed up here. We gapped up and started our opening at 58.53 and kind of just chilled out. We went as high as 59.40. So that's about 60 points, I guess. We left the day on Friday with hammer candle. So this would indicate more upwards movement, right? Time frame continuity also says there's some upwards movement, but we trade what we see. According to this hammer candle, it lets you, will give you the indication that there could be more upwards movement. This is a seller situation here. This is a seller zone. Let you know we had made down, up, we gapped up and came back down, and then now Friday did have kind of a doji, but it is a doji that looks like a hammer, so it could give you a little more upwards movement. Again, we trade what we see. All right, that's what SPX looked like last week. We'll swing back around to that soon when we come back to the other indices, but let's go look at what we see coming up for next week. I think I missed the VIX. We'll pass that on right now. Investors Eye May jobs report, Trump tariff updates in the week ahead. Trump's tariffs turns taco trade, I'm not sure why it's called a taco trade, into Wall Street's biggest debate. Key tariff dates to watch in June and July. Europe stocks stage world-beating rally as trade war backfires. Why Scott Bessent wants to make it easier for the banks to own treasuries. Big tech stocks driving S&P 500 rebound as trade tensions ease. UK to urge the Trump administration to implement zero tariff steel accord. It's the tariffs. Everything we hear, tariff. Yeah. The jobs report will headline the first week of June as markets turn the page on a historically strong May. Historically strong May. Investors are piling into the big short treasury bets alongside of Buffett. Treasury bets. Oh my goodness. Top Wall Street analysts prefer these dividend stocks for consistent returns. Now, see, y'all get a headline like this, and the next thing you know, everybody running their money to treasuries. Just because we see Warren Buffett, he may not even be doing that, but just because they put his face with some words, people are, oh, Warren Buffett said, let's go run. Elon Musk says he doesn't want to take responsibility for everything the administration is doing, and nor you should. I mean, why should you take responsibility for everything somebody else is doing? You're not the dude. You just working there. Trump and Xi are likely to talk soon about trade, though no date has been set. Boy, the people who are focused on themselves, the narcissists, all come home to roost. Trump always chickens out. That's the taco. Oh, I was wondering what the taco thing meant. I didn't know that. Okay. Looks like Trump is live news with what he said is big news. Well, hey, Christina, how you doing? Trump live, very, very big announcement. White House strikes first trade deal. That's coming up. That's out there now because that's what happened last week with that big, the big news about having reached the agreement with the UK is what caused that big jump. Is what caused that big gap up last week. Every weekend, you get something that gaps stuff around. Gapping around. Yep, it's just gapping around. Okay, so This coming week, what are the meetings that we have coming up for this week? Well, Monday, we've got final manufacturing PMI is at 9:45 on Monday morning. 10, we've got PMI stuff happening, construction spending. FOMC member Logan is speaking at 10:15, 12:45. Goolsbee will speak at 1 o'clock. Powell will speak. Ding, 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 ding. On Monday at 1 o'clock, Powell is going to speak. Let's see where he's speaking at. Looking at our folder here, he's going to deliver the opening remarks at the Federal Reserve Board of Governors International Finance Division 75th Anniversary Conference in Washington, D.C. Okay, so he's talking at 1 o'clock on Monday. All right, just know anytime, that's why you see this big red folder next to it. Anytime he's going to talk, we already know there's going to be some movement, okay? He don't even get to the mic or open his mouth good, and the stock price will start running all crazy. Like, he ain't said nothing yet. Anyway, that's Monday. Tuesday morning, we got Jolt's job openings, which is Tuesday at 10. RCM tip economic optimism is tentative. All day we got the wars total vehicle sales. 12:45 FOMC member Goolsbee speaking. 3:30 Logan. 4:30 API weekly statistical bulletin. Nothing is read except for the 10 o'clock Jolt's job openings on Tuesday. On Wednesday, 8:15, we've got non-farm employment change. 8:30, we've got some FOMC member people talking. 9:45, we got PMI. 9:45 and 10. ISM services PMI, final services PMI, those are happening on Wednesday. One of those is a red folder. 10:30 crude oil inventories, which really is more than a yellow. 2 o'clock beige book, that's on Wednesday. Thursday, we've got unemployment claims is red. 7:30 challenger job cuts. 8:30 unemployment claims, non-farm productivity. 10:30 we got natural gas storage. 12 o'clock FOMC member Kugler. And then Harker will speak at 1:30. Friday morning, 8:30 before market opens, we've got average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, and then at 3 o'clock, consumer credit. So we do have a red folder every day this week. We have a red folder every day this week. Hey, Ward, was wondering where you was at. You know, you got to be here on time. Got to be here on time, right? Denise says, I told a friend about taco and she could not stop laughing. Yeah. I never knew that the acronyms, y'all, they come up with the acronyms. All right. So that is what we got as far as the meetings go this week. Now let's look at earnings. Earnings, we've got Camels on Monday morning before the market opens and SAIC. We've got Credo and Abivax on Monday after close. Tuesday morning, Dollar General, NEO. Now, you know, NEO hadn't been mentioned a whole lot recently. NEO was all the talk a couple years ago. You couldn't say nothing about stocks unless NEO was get mentioned. Now you don't hardly hear NEO mentioned at all. It was all the electric vehicles was NEO. Now I think NEO was what, a $2 stock now? What's the anybody know the stock price of NEO? What is the stock price? I'm gonna look real quick to see what is the stock price of NEO. It's probably really low. Yep, $3.50. $3.50. There was nowhere near that. $3.50. That's so sad. Signet Jewelers, I think that says. Yeah, Signet Jewelers is Tuesday mornings. Ollie's, the little cheapy store. Good Stuff Cheap, it says. Ferguson, Donaldson, NESR is all Tuesday morning. CrowdStrike, probably anticipated, is Tuesday after market closes. Hewlett Packard, Asana, Guidewire, Health Equity, Couchbase, Mama's Creation, Sportsman Warehouse, and YEXT is all Tuesday after the market closes. Wednesday morning, Dollar Tree, Sprinkler, Genesco, Rail Vehicles for Life, Thor, VersaBank, Webster Bank, Tech, Target is all Wednesday morning. Wednesday after market close, MongoDB, PVH, Five Below, Planet, Verint, ChargePoint, another one that was mentioned over and over every time you talked about that electric vehicle a few years back. ChargePoint was being mentioned, and I think their stock is really low too. Let me see what is the price of ChargePoint. We were trading them 69 cents. Oh my goodness. Why are they still on the regular stock with options every week at 69 cents? I'm surprised they haven't been delisted. 69 cents, and they got a nerve to have an options contract. Oh my word. ChargePoint has earnings. Whew. Wednesday after the market closes. Tilly's, Grief, Greif, Bark, and Discardis. Thursday morning, Sienna, Cracker Barrel, Momo, Victoria's Secret lands in Toro, BitFuFu, which what is BitFuFu? I don't even know who they are. Anybody know who BitFuFu is? Don't even know who BitFuFu even is. Oh, you got to make them public to see the comments. Oh, I didn't know how to fix that though. View a comment, StreamYard, make your streams public. Don't worry, it's easy. Follow these steps. Okay, it's telling me in order for me to be able to see all the comments, I got to make the stream public. I didn't know there was even such a thing or even something I needed to be worrying with. View on Facebook. Why is this showing? It should be showing all of that. You're about to view. Oh, well. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I will get sidetracked along the way. Y'all already know. I'll be like, what? How come? What made this do that? Well, oh, I can look at it right there. And I guess this is where you can see the comments. That probably won't take up too much more bandwidth. They don't let me see the public. Okay. Yeah, Neil. I see. Latonya says it's $5. Yeah, for oh goodness. Okay. So let me see. Where was I? BitFuFu. Did anybody figure out what BitFuFu was? I don't even know who they are. BitFuFu. Never heard of them. Okay. Close. Okay, there we go. Stay focused, girl. That's what we do. Never heard of BitFuFu. BITFUFU. And then Brown-Forman, Duluth Trading, and then WDH. Looks like they're maybe Water Group, something like that. Like they're an Asian company, WDH. Let me see, what is WDH? Water Drop. They're $1.45. How are all these little bitty babies showing up for earnings? Okay, Thursday after close, we got Broadcom, AVGO. That's not a little baby. That's probably being anticipated. All right. DocuSign is here. Lululemon. Those are probably three that people are waiting for. Samsara, Rubrik, Petco, Torrid, Service Titan, Quanex, and Zoomies. And then Friday morning, G3, GIII or G3, ABM, Fuel Cell Energy, and MANU. Those are all the people who have earnings coming up this week. All right. So we're in this is the beginning of June. So we're going to be wrapping or winding down earnings season here because, earnings season starts every quarter. We go into quarters, and I think we've had all of our big boys, but we still have some here that I think are being anticipated. BitFuFu, digital asset mining, cloud mining. Okay. So they fall maybe into the crypto space, digital assets mining, cloud mining services, cloud mining services. All right. Well, let's look at what happened last week. How did we do on our trades list last week? Well, we had 10 trades on our list last week. 7 of those 10 went completely profitable. All week went profitable. 7 went all week long. Woo woo. If you entered and didn't touch it at all, end of the week, it would have turned out profitable. You would have kept all your money. Whoa. 3 of them, well, actually, 1 of them was fully breached, which was Baba. Baba was fully breached last week. It closed the week at, I want to say like 109 or something like that. Baba closed much lower, wasn't even 113. So it closed at like 113. Way below the put credit spread. But if you were trading it actively, you probably would have bounced and you would have been sitting around waiting anyway. Las Vegas Sands and Next Era Energy, these two on the call credit spread list, were only partial breaches. which means the price stopped in between this spread. It didn't go all the way through both legs. It stopped in the middle or expired in the middle of these two. Now, Las Vegas Sands and NextEra Energy were on both the put credit spread and the call credit spread list. They were both in the neutral territory. So they ended up being iron condors, put credit spread, call credit spread. And as I always say, when things are on both lists, put credit spread and call credit spread, you can decide whether you're going to trade one side or the other or both sides. I'm a fan of a good iron condor. I like to do iron condors because when you do iron condors, you pull in premiums on both sides while using one set of collateral. That's a good thing to do. I use my collateral once, but I take in premiums from both sides. Yes, yes, and yes. And that's pretty much how we run our SPX credit spreads every single day. That's how we do it. I'm going to get a credit spread. I'm going to get an iron condor out of this for sure. Okay. Now, I was talking there a little bit about how did our day on Friday go? Well, the day Friday went phenomenal after we got all our money. But the day, as far as the trading day of it, was difficult. We spent all day on our Zoom call with the membership, which was enjoyable. I'm telling you, you need to be with a team of people, a group of people you can trade with that can talk you off the ledge, a group of people who can say, come hold on, hold steady. Don't get yourself too, don't really get yourself too nervous. Stay with us. Let's hold in here together. Let's watch the charts together. There's something that's an intangible. You can't really get away from that. So on Friday, we traded together as a unit in our Zoom call, which one thing that's a benefit of our membership. Made 3,300 and some change on Friday. My week this past, it was a short week. My week I made 43.56, but I had a big old goal. I had a big old goal for the month of May. My big old goal for the month of May, I wanted to make $10,000 in SPX credit spreads. This is only SPX credit spreads. I did not include the other things that I trade. I trade weekly credit spreads. I do some buying of options, not a whole lot. I do cash secure puts. I do covered calls. I didn't include none of that. All this is right here is credit spreads on SPX and XSP. SPX and XSP, which is what we do in our membership. Now, if you're in my sphere of influence, if you get emails from me, I've been talking about the membership that we're doing, the membership that I'm doing is focused only on SPX and XSP. We decided to take our focus down to two things. I'm taking my focus down to just two things. We're just focusing on SPX and XSP. That way we're looking at one chart. We're looking at one set of indicators, which ain't a whole lot of them because I don't believe in a whole lot of indicators because to me, they can get you confused and you'll be looking at too many things and can't make a decision. So the less, the better for me. All right. But I want to tell you, this is the money I made, but I got members and I try to put some more of if you follow me on social media, you've probably been seeing the screenshots of the members, or if you saw the email I sent, I added some screenshots there even of members' profits, because it ain't just me who making this money. My members is pulling in the profits every single day too. I have members who pull in $400, $500, $600, $1,000 a day, $700. Some pull in $50, $75, $100. But listen, $50 a day is $250 a week. That's another $1,000 a month. Can you use another $1,000 a month in your life? I bet you can. See, y'all, sometimes all we see is the $50 a week or $50 a day. And you're like, that ain't really none. Yeah, it is. $50 a day will buy your lunch and put gas in your car. $50 a day will pay for dinner. Because at this point, you go eat anywhere. You go to McDonald's, you're going to spend $50 if you feed more than just you. You feed more than just you, you're going to spend $50 at McDonald's. Okay, but you can pull an extra $50 a day off of SPX or XSP, especially if you got a group of people you can trade it with. I've had a bunch of people who joined the membership over the past couple of days, but some of y'all sitting around, waiting around, and you're going to fool around and miss out. You're going to miss out. The price goes up tomorrow. It goes up tonight, actually. After midnight, the price goes up from the $97. It's $97 a month now, or you can pay for the year, $9.97 for the year. But if you pay $97 a month now, then you lock in. You're locked in. But if you don't pay that, if you wait till after today, talking about, oh, I missed it, then you're gonna be at the 147 price point, because the 147 price point is coming. It's coming. I put this mug into my Etsy shop. Y'all see my little mug? I'm so proud of my little mug. I have lots of mugs in my Etsy shop, by the way, not just this one, but trade the chart and not your heart. Now, this was Friday. I brought this up. I put this in here in my little stream of things because on Friday, your girl, I was so glad for my own community, because in my own community, I needed my people, because I needed to be, I really comforted. I just needed some people around me, some like-minded people, because you get in your head when you by yourself. Oh no, this ain't gonna recover. There goes my money. Oh no. Even I do that, right? But when you got people with you who say, no, let's just hold out. It was only 12:30. The market had tanked. Well, what we call tanked. It felt like it. Like, let's just hold on. We got 3.5 more hours of this. Let's just ride and see what happens. Turned out it worked out great. Woo, 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 worked out great. But trade the chart and not your heart, because sometimes your heart, it'll have you, your heart will have you going on with something else. All right. So I was talking about the membership. I'm gonna swing back to those stocks here in a minute, because I'm gonna talk about next week's trades. But this is what is included in the Option Seller Zone membership. And if you've read my emails, you can see these things. But basically, we've got group trading. We trade together via Telegram, and sometimes we do Zooms. We're using I give trade alerts. We're using SPX and XSP, only 2 stocks. So if you can do SPX, you're there. If you got a smaller account and you want to do XSP because your account is not as big, we got something for you too. Right? If you like, I'm a little nervous on SPX, let me do something a little smaller, then trade XSP. I got people who trade XSP. I trade XSP to make sure that I'm in those same trades that I'm calling out. When I alert a trade, I'm in that same trade. I don't alert stuff that I'm not in. I know there are communities where people will give an alert for a trade and they just saying, basically manage it from here, or you got it. If I alert it, it's because I'm in it. I'm in blank. So as I'm not alerting trades because I want to give it to you. I'm alerting it because I'm in it. I don't give investment advice because I'm not an investment advisor, but I will share with you what I'm trading each day. And if you decide you want to trade too, then you can. That's how it works. All right. We do our Sunday charting session, which we're going to do when we get off this call. We get off this Zoom. This YouTube, we're going to go and do Zoom over there together in our community. First Saturday, we have a coaching call. One-on-one set, you get 1 per quarter. We have a private Telegram group, and we do impromptu Zoom calls. All right. Yep, you can brace yourself, but it's great. Even when you're with yourself, you with each other. We got people hanging out. 0DTE, brace yourself. Yeah, we're hanging out together. The price, $97 a month or $9.97 annually, is ending tonight. Tonight. If you come in, I say come on, Cletus. You would like to come on so you can get into our Zoom call this evening. And I want to be able to give you a video or 2 to watch, so that way when we start up in the morning, you're going to be ready to rock and roll. I had some folks who joined last week, and one particular guy joined last week, and the first day he joined, he made $180. I told him when he was talking about, I said, you'll pay for your membership in 1 trade. I told him that when he was asking me a bunch of questions, because people do that, which I don't have a problem with people asking me a bunch of questions. It's your money. You pay $97 for the month. If you come into the thing and it don't work for you, cancel it. You can exit whenever you want to. You come in and you say, this situation, the way y'all play, don't really work for me. Then you just cancel it. I'm telling you though, you won't find another membership that'll be like mine, because it's a family over there. Okay. It's a family affair. Yeah. $97 is a 0DTE. I'm telling you, you're going to make that money back so fast. You're going to be like, you going to be telling me I need to raise my prices, which I am. I raise the price starting tomorrow. The price going up starting tomorrow. All right. So let's look at our list. That's enough of that, right? I'm very passionate. I enjoy what I do, though. I'm an educator. I am an educator. This is what I do. This is my strong place. So we just hanging out together. I'm trying to take as many people with me that want to go. And if you decide you don't want to go with me, I'm cool. I'm not called. Everybody ain't called to me, and I'm not called to everybody. I'm completely aware of that, and I'm not bothered by it. I'm not bothered at all by it. Those who are supposed to be with me are going to be with me, and those who are not will be someplace else. I'm all for that. I'm not bothered at all by that. Here's a bigger list. We got a little bit of list this week. Now just know, we were doing weekly credit spreads in the membership. We're not doing those in the membership anymore. But what I am doing last week, if y'all were watching with me last week I had Dylan from Peakbot on here with me, and that's what I meant to bring in here. I should have brought that. I did Peakbot last week. I put all of my Peakbot trades together. I know I shared it inside of my email, but I picked a bunch of stocks last week to do on my trend spread bot. I did the bot. I do the automated trading with Peakbot. We had Dylan came on here with us, talked about the updated trend spread bot. That's what we did. And I had a bunch of different things, a bunch of different stocks. I'm looking around. I had a bunch of different stocks that I traded last week on my trend spread, and all of them were profitable. I had one where I lost $8. I think it might have been $8, and that's because I closed it. That's because I closed it early. I'll forward this back to the bottom because I think this is important. I closed it early because it was kind of dancing at the strike price, and I didn't want to keep watching it. So I closed it, but it would have been profitable. But I came out with like, I want to say $142 on the spreads that I did last week. I'm trying to see if I can find it real quick so that way I may not be able to. If you get my email, you would have seen it. Or if you follow me on Twitter, I posted it on Twitter. I might have even posted it on Facebook. But I had picked maybe, I don't even see it here. I'm trying to scroll through Telegram, which it's, you know what? I might be able to find it quicker if I do a little quick search. Do a quick search. Here we go. Maybe I can grab it as a screenshot and then bring it to the main screen so that you all can see the trades that I had. There we go. Let's do it that way. We'll do it that way. Yep, I'll bring it over here and then make it full screen. Make this bigger. There we go. There's more than one way to accomplish a task. I'm going to remove this because I wanted to share this. I knew there was something else I wanted to include. Here we go. Not necessarily. I did give some of the ones that I put into Peakbot. I did alert them, and I may do that again in the future. I'll see, but I'd rather have people really enjoy their own Peakbot, because you might not want to trade the same thing I'm trading, and the membership is not focused on that per se. But I did this week. I did alert Peakbot trades this week, and I'm flexible. My arm can be twisted. So this is the list of the trades I took in Peakbot last week. I did Amazon, Google, Home Depot, IWM, Procter & Gamble, and Exxon. These are the ones I entered. Well, I selected, because when you do Peakbot, you select the stock. Peakbot enters the trade for you, collects the premiums. That's all it does, and then closes the trade for you when it's ready. So on Amazon, I collected $35. I closed it for $5. Google, I collected $24, closed it for $4. Home Depot, I had an iron condor. I collected a total of $55 and closed it for $12. IWM, I selected $33 and closed it for $7. Procter & Gamble, another iron condor, I collected $35 and closed it for $23. So this was overall the iron condor was profitable. I collected, like I said, $35 and I closed it for $23. That's still a profit. And for Exxon, I collected $14 and closed it for $3. Overall, I made $142 in profits. I used $1,200 in collateral, so I made 11.8% returns on the collateral, and Peakbot did all the work. Great news, Denise. So glad. Peakbot did all the work. I just selected the stocks and put them and let them use the money. Now, Peakbot only does with the bot. It only will enter the trades you select. Peakbot is not like, those AI things we see on TV that go in and do all what they want to do with your account. No. Peakbot goes only to the stocks that you pick, and it enters the stocks you pick at the right time. And it says, okay, Peakbot goes and looks at all the parameters it's supposed to look at. Is it a bullish trend? Is it a bearish trend? Is it a neutral trend? And depending on which one it is, it will enter the trade bullish, bearish, or iron condor, right? And you collect your money. Okay, you collect your money. And then you let the time pass. These are weeklies. You let the time pass. And then if it's a problem, Peakbot will exit. It's got, stop loss is not built in, but it does have at the end of the week, if there's a problem, it will either close or roll. But if you're an active trader, you're not necessarily going to close a blind eye to your portfolio. If you're watching your stock and watching the thing, for me, what I do is I put, after these trades are entered the next day, because I don't do it the same day, because you don't want to trigger a day trade, but the next day I will put in close orders, whether that's a stop loss order or a close order for profits. That way, if it starts going crazy, you're watching it. Or you can put in alerts. You can put alerts into your broker, so that way if the price starts going the wrong direction, it will at least alert you that you need to go look at it. Okay, this is simple. Even though it's automated, you're not blind. You're still still your money. You're still paying attention, right? So I made 11.8% return on the stocks I traded last week, and I picked about 5 or 6 more this week that the bot entered for me on Friday. Collected my premiums when it was time. The bot entered automatically, and then it bling bling bling. And then you go with that. All right. So let's see. I see some comments here. Let's go with our comments. See what's being said. Yep. Hey, pal. Alysa's an awesome teacher. Thank you. Let me put that on my comments. Yay. Alysa's an awesome teacher. Yes. This is what I do. I've been called to educate. Denise joined the group. Yay. I want to make a lot of money with you. Let's do it. Speak it. Did your Peakbot leg in Iron Condor on Home Depot? No, it just went in all at one time. Whenever Peakbot does the entry of the Iron Condors, it just enters all at once. Peakbot doesn't bug out with your manual exit. Nope. What it does is Peakbot will, if my orders are already there, Peakbot will send, it's just a regular, like putting in an order. So if the order tries to come through and it can't, it just will reject the order. Just like if you were trying to put an order in and you already had one there, then the order will reject. So if you already got one there, it just rejects it. Denise says, I can tell you're a born teacher. Yep, that's what I do. I'm an educator by degree, by profession. This is what I do. All right. So Peakbot. Did I put the link to Peakbot in my comments? It's peakbot.com. .com. I'm putting it in here. I'm trying to talk and type at the same time. The brain doesn't quite work like that. Peakbot.com/E2T. You can go there. I think if you use my code, you can get 50% off. I use the Trend Spread Bot. It's the one that I am a huge fan of. What I really like about these new updates is that you know exactly how much money you're spending. If it's a 2.5 spread, then you're putting 250 up. If it's a 1 spread, you're putting up 100. If it's a 50-cent spread, you're putting up 50 cents, $50. It's just like that, right? If it's a 5 spread, you're putting up 500 minus premiums. You know exactly how much money you're going to be putting into the trade. All right. So that's one thing I really like. Right off rip, you know how much you're putting up for your budget. All right. So this is our trades list for the week, and I use Peakbot for the trades list. I go to Peakbot. I use the low risk and the moderate risk here. I don't use all of it because I have some criteria. I still got, standards. I've got criteria that says these are the ones I picked off for the week. Which ones do y'all like off this list? What do y'all like on this list? Tell me which stock here catch your attention for the week. Which ones are of interest to you? Any of them? Anybody got some interest? I like Amazon. I believe I entered Amazon again for the week. I believe I did. What else? Any others that catch your interest? Oh, that's not what I wanted. I don't even know where I'm looking for stuff. I'm trying to remember where I put it. Amazon, Meta. Is Meta on the list? Oh, yeah, Meta is up there. Uh-huh. D. Clark says Google. Yep, Google's on the list. Google. They were both on the list, actually. Julie says I got in Apple and Amazon. Those are the two I picked. Let me see. What did I pick? I picked Apple, Amazon, Google, AbbVie, CRM. What else we got? Exxon. Exxon is on here. Janae said Meta and Exxon. Yep. Amazon. Yep. Those are all good choices. Good choices. Kroger, I believe, is on both lists because it was one of the ones that was trending as a neutral. It might be the only one that end up in both places. Exxon, Lowe's, nope. CRM is only on one list. AbbVie's only on one. Apple. So yeah, the only one that ended up on both lists was Kroger. Does anybody trade Kroger? I put Triple Q as one of my choices, but it didn't feel on Friday. All right, we'll talk these when we get into our call this evening. When we get into our call after this one, we'll get on our call together. All right, I talked about the membership stuff already. I can circle back. If y'all got some membership questions, put them in the comments real quick, or send me a message together send me a message on whatever platform, because you know what, you need to come on in so that way you can be on the call this evening too and be ready for tomorrow morning trading, because we run it. We get together. Our first trade place around 10:30. We place our trade together and off we go. Okay. I won't go to one-on-one coaching just yet. I'm going to go back to the charts before I do that. Yep, let's go back to the charts first. I want to hit the indices, and then as they say, we'll land the plane. We talked about SPX already. Let me see if I put a few more lines on here. We've got some resistance at 59.39. We've got a gap down here you see that we dipped into that gap. That was the dip that took us out on Friday. It about took me out because it dipped way down past our strikes. No, what are you doing? Yeah, that's what it did. And we were like, no, don't do this to me. All right. So those supports. Now there's probably a support partway through this gap as well. You see that 25% mark was hit. That's SPX. All right. There's some support right here. Whoop. It went right to there to 58.40 and did a good turnaround. That's what we needed on our chart. Y'all don't think we saw that? Y'all can't see my screen. Okay. Thank you, Janae. I got to remove this. I clicked it, but it didn't add. Y'all see this on our chart? I don't think we had this marked on our charts. This is why we got to do our good charting. Over here from Thursday, May the 22nd, that day that price didn't do virtually nothing, 58.40 was the price right over there. And you all see where this wick from Friday went right down to that same price area and turned around. We have got to make sure we put some of those on our charts. I know in the membership, I put some homework in the chat, and part of that homework was for us to update our charts. Part of that was our homework. We had to update the charts because this right here, what was that? Part of this was right there from May the 22nd. Yep, May the 22nd. That's probably where we dropped to. That would have helped us. That probably would have helped us a little bit. Y'all see that? We got to make sure we leave that on our chart. 58.40, 58.42. That was from this Doji Day on the 22nd. All right, let's go to SPY. See what SPY is doing. This is the benefit of charting. Listen, start with the chart. If you want a free chart look, start with the chart.com. Let me put a handle on the front of it so Facebook will let the link go through. Start with the chart.com is a free webinar that I created for charting. You should not be in these trading streets without charting. Please, 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 please. Don't be out here trading without charting. Okay? You are just trying to throw your money away. If you want to just throw money away, throw it at me. Because no, don't do it to yourself. You must learn how to chart, especially support, resistance, gaps, the basics. You just get some basics under your belt. You cannot be in these streets without learning how to chart. It's just not wise. Okay, it's not a good way to do your money. Not if you're trying to do long term. You might be successful short term, right? If somebody's, you just going with call outs, you might be successful short term. But if you ever want to get to where you're able to stand on your own feet, and hopefully you want to stand on your own trading feet. And if you want to do that, then you're going to want to learn how to chart. You need to be able to stand on your own. You can stand up with somebody for a while, let them prop you up. But when you get ready to stand on your own feet, you're going to need to know how to chart. Okay. All right. I say that with all the love I got for the trading community. This is SPY. Basically, the chart looks just like SPX, but y'all see it's a doji hammer looking with a long wick, which is let you know all this price action was from Friday. Ooh, it was a roller coaster ride, I tell you. It was, I say. It was, I say. Okay, triple Q. Let's see what's over here. It should look very similar, and it does, except for triple Q. Friday was red, barely, but it did a very similar price action. Very similar price action. Look the same. Look the same. Long wick, but now this gap got filled. The gap that was left over here on triple Q got filled on Friday. So we're going to take this gap off of the chart, right? That gap got filled. Gap got filled. Gap got filled. Gap got filled today. This gap here, I don't think this one's filled. This is a gap here that is not filled. From the 23rd, gap goes from the close of one candle to the open of the next, and we back off for price action. This gap here is not all the way filled. That gap is not filled. Okay. Okay. Nope, not you. What are you doing? All righty. Yep. There's a gap on triple Q from 509 up to about 511. There's a gap there that is not filled. Okay. Let's go look at IWM. The small one that will usually lag behind the party. It usually come late to the party. Got a little bit of gap here that's not filled either. I don't chart on TradingView except for when I'm on with the call. I chart in Thinkorswim, which is my platform. That way, when I need to see what I need to see while I'm in there trading, I can see that. So I'm not jumping. I use my TradingView for my VWAP and checking my moving averages and my strat numbers. This is what I have over here. But I'm looking for my charting, my support resistance, all that good stuff is over in my Thinkorswim. All right. Okay, so there we are for IWM. All righty. I've charted the indices. I covered our earnings. I looked at next week's meetings. We covered our results from last week. We talked about charting a little bit. All right. So, all right. I talked about the membership. Talked about what we did last week. One-on-one coaching. If you are somebody who's really coming into this space and you just need to fine tune some areas, or you might, you're working with this strategy or that strategy, and you need to make sure you get yourself lined out, or trying to figure out what is next or what should be next for you, then come on over to educator2trader.com and sign up for a one-on-one coaching session, because you may just need some fine tuning, or maybe to point you in the right direction. You might need to, maybe you in some trades and need some guidance on how do you work what you already got going. Whatever it is that you need, go ahead and go to one-on-one coaching. Of course, you come into the membership, you get one of those it's included. You got to join the membership for that, or you can just pay for that. Maybe you don't want to be a part of the membership. It's like, I don't want I don't want SPX, I don't want XSP, I don't want to do that. I'm doing something else, and my strategy is cool, working for me. Then go ahead and grab a one-on-one coaching over at educator2trader.com. Okay. I believe that covers all of the pieces and the parts. All right. So usually I am here on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings at 8:45. I will not be here tomorrow morning because I have an appointment during that time. So pardon me for not being here in the morning. But for those of you who are in my community, I will totally be there for you, because that's what we do. That's what we do. All righty. It's about 6:57. We've been here a little bit less than an hour. I hope I have shared with you what I needed to give you, and I hope you have found yourself prepared for tomorrow morning. Those of you who are in my membership, we're going to go from here and we're going to go on into the Zoom room. I'm actually going to send an email to the folks who are the new members. So y'all give me about 5 or 10 minutes and I will meet you in Zoom. All righty. I want y'all to do 2 things. I want you to stay green and I want you to get this money. All right. I will see you in the market. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.